it can be so overwhelming having to go through a spiritual awakening when the people around you and the people that are closest to you don't understand your energy or your perspective. And these 3 tips are literally the most important tips that anyone going through a spiritual awakening needs to know. Welcome back, beautiful souls, to the channel. I'm Shika, your conscious mentor, and today I'm going to be going over 3 specific spaces, rules, just tips I feel that you need to know on how to create boundaries around your family, towards your family, if you are going through a spiritual awakening, if you are the only person in your family, or maybe very few of you that have been chosen to be divinely doing this work. And I know sometimes when we're starting to see the world in a different perspective, we are becoming woke, if you will, it can be so difficult for us to express truly how we feel, and for our family not to be angry or think we're going crazy. So I really think this is so important. These tips are also great if you are around a family that maybe gaslights or gets angry or releases body pain emotions. These have really helped me throughout my spiritual journey over the many years, and they still help me today. I've recently got this question on a live. You guys were having a lot of trouble on Chica. I need to create boundaries around my family. Like, my family is starting to become so suffocating, and I don't know what to do. So I'm really excited to share this video. Grab a cup of tea, maybe grab some snacks. Let's sit, let's chat. I love these videos with you guys. Before we get into the video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, as well as put notification bells. I do 3 or more videos every single week for you amazing, beautiful souls, so you do not miss a video. I also do live healings, which is a great opportunity to help you and support you on your shadow work for the full moons and new moons. And today's subscriber of the day is the My Mystical Halo. Thank you so much for being part of this family. I love you guys so much. Like, I look forward to recording. I look forward to sharing this knowledge to help you on your journey, and let's get into some family boundaries. So the first thing I want to share is that there are a lot of things that we need to start to notice intuitively that kind of lets us know, do I need to create family boundaries during this time as I go through a spiritual awakening or spiritual realization or growth or shadow work? And the first thing is, I always like to look at my emotions. So if your family is triggering you, and this is a part that I think is very important, if you're doing the work and you start to notice that because you're so sensitive, because you're so empathic, because your gifts are starting to open up more and more, and I get it, like, it's the same with me even today, it is really hard to kind of create that bubble and allow yourself to take in that new information and to release those old beliefs without feeling the persuasion or even the reaction of your parents affecting you, or the parent, or your sisters or your siblings or your cousins or your uncles or your aunties, whatever it is. It can be very difficult. So the first thing is shame and guilt. I think these are the most common emotions that I notice. You know, not feeling worthy, not feeling, you know, like your words are worthy, not thinking that your voice, the way that you communicate, like you can't get across this message, this perspective to them, and it just seems like you're talking to a wall, but you know deep inside your intuition that everything that you said does make sense. It's just that maybe they are still in their pain. They might, you know, react through anger, they might yell at you, they might do all those things, and I'm here to say that that is a reaction that your family is doing out of, you know, resistance of wanting change. And, you know, there's something that really clicked with me the other day that I wanted to share with you guys. I don't know if you guys have heard of Teal Swan. I would highly suggest you subscribing to her channel. I love Teal Swan. She's amazing. Her information is fantastic. And she posted something on Instagram that just really aligned with me. And she said that at the end of the day, like, we have been chosen to shift not only ourselves through this lifetime and, you know, our karmic debts, our pains, all these things, but also through our healing, our families before us and after us. And, you know, when someone told me when I was going through my healing, you're meant to heal the next 7 generations after and before you, I was like, that is a lot of work. That is a lot of energy. And yet to know that I am even healing beyond those generations through the work that I do and the work that you do as well. And just the way that the things work, your soul has chosen yourself to end this pain for you and your family. Everything you've experienced in this lifetime is a mixture of this lifetime and your own soul experience, along with, you know, the creation of your families, like your parents' energy. Think about it. They've created you energetically of a representation of their love or their own energy, if you will. And if you think of it that way, that energy is transferred over to every generation that we can't even think back to how many numbers that is. So there is a lot of shame and guilt that unfortunately the consciousness at that time wasn't able to process. And when she said that, it just really got me to think, you know what, that makes sense. That's a perfect way of explaining it, that we have been chosen to change that tide, to change that shift. So when creating boundaries with family, when we're going through this, I think the first thing is understanding maybe the emotional old beliefs that they're putting on you, and it makes it so much easier for you to tap in because it's familiar. And when that familiarity comes up, it might bring up a wound of yours. It might bring up something that you need to revisit and release. But it's also an opportunity for you to see, wow, my mom, my dad, my aunt, my uncle, my sister has the same wound that I have, that I've been healing in a different way. And how do they mirror their energy on me? And how can I ensure that I am managing my energy to not go and be tempted to feel shameful, guilty, sad, unworthy? You know what I mean? So once you've realized what that emotion is, you need to start to tell yourself this part. That's your ish. That's my ish. I tell my mentors all the time, the moment we mentally tell ourselves, that's yours, this is mine, you start to notice that there is either a divide and also a similarity. You are still connected with them, but you understand that, hey, that is yours. This is mine. I am healing mine. You may still be in the pain not to heal yours, but I'm still respecting my energy because I'm willing to heal. And with time, the family comes around. I know right now that maybe they're not coming around. Maybe your family is still like in this body pain like Elk Tolls talks about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, do read the book, The Power of Now. You guys always ask me, Shika, can you recommend some books? Power of Now is literally the best book, one of the best books I've read. And I will do a video on some great spiritual books that you can start for beginners. Don't worry, I got you. I'm just taking my time to be really conscious with the list of what that video would look like. But all this to say is know that that is theirs. And, you know, I know sometimes when they lash out to us, they gaslight. I've been there. I've been there. And it's hard for us not to react into those old patterns. But then that brings us to what I will share in our third tip coming up in this video. But I really just want you to understand that they are mirroring the old pains that you once held, that you're continuously currently releasing, and they haven't seen it yet, but they will. And the moment that they do, they're gonna heal in their own way. So you notice how just hearing what I mentioned has really been like, wow, okay, I actually like feel bad for that family member. I feel bad for the person, even the people that you might not like at all. It allows you to bring in that love, that unconditional love, but also that understanding of where they're coming from. So notice the emotion of what they are triggering: guilt, shame, abandonment, judgment, attack, whatever they're feeling, releasing, telling you that you are lying, you know, the gaslighting, whatever it is, yelling, whatever ways that they're releasing their own traumas on you, notice it. And I want you to just say to yourself, as your mantra, that's your ish, that's my ish, okay? Like, that's your ish, that's my ish, okay? I want you guys to say that. That's your stuff, that's my stuff, okay? Down below, that's your stuff, that's my stuff. Because when you say that, it just shifts something in your mind. It's like, I'm not taking this on. I'm creating I'm tapping into my mental consciousness, saying that I'm not bringing this energy with me. This is yours. Okay, and you can decide, I want the best for you, I love you, or I do care, I want the best. However, this isn't mine, you know, and I think that's one of the biggest things. The second thing I really think that's huge on how to create, you know, boundaries around family when going through a spiritual awakening is the difference between love and like. This really helped me understand, because when my mentor shared this with me, I was like, whoa, this just clicked. It was almost like I knew it already, but when she said it in those words, I was like, I need to do a video on this. So I'm really happy you guys asked this question. Love, we love our family. And maybe for some of us, we are still trying to understand what that is, or perhaps we are relearning the definition of love based on our own experiences in this lifetime, and that is okay. However, we have to understand that we were born into a family and we have chosen this family to be with, right? Our soul chose this family to be with for the reason of our soul purpose. And whatever that soul purpose is, sometimes that family has their own lessons and their own things that are going on. However, you know, there's always those times where we're like, I can't not say no to my sister, my mom, my dad. They're my family. If you know what I'm talking about, put, I know what you're talking about down below with a heart emoji, because it happens. I've been guilty of it. I've done it before. I can't do that. You're my family, like all the time. Like, okay, well, is it worthy of taking on that energy and being harmed based on family? They are still a being, they still have their own wounds, and without knowing it subconsciously, they can still put their pains on you and just continue that generational pain. So one of the biggest things is understanding that we can love our family, but it doesn't mean we have to like them. If we met this family member, our mom or dad, whatever, and they were not the title of their parents or family, in the middle of a grocery store, whatever, or interaction, or at school, and you didn't get along with them based on what you know of them right now, you probably wouldn't have built that relationship, right? Because you wouldn't have liked them. So the best way of explaining it is you love them, you want the best for them. We always want the best for everyone because we mirror things. We mirror things. Even the people who you thought have done the worst of things, that has been such a big learning lesson for me, especially through my trauma of being able to think of the people who have harmed me and say, I actually feel bad for you and I want the best for you because I know you were more pain than I was and you just reacted that on me. And that's the part here. It's like, we can love them, but it doesn't mean we have to like every opinion they say. It doesn't mean we have to like the way that they say that your crystals or the way that you're acting or your meditations or whatever. It doesn't mean they have to like and see the same perspective of what happiness and love and life is. It doesn't mean that they have to agree with the career choices that you make. I know I'm gonna be that friend and tell you that they don't have to agree that, okay? Like, hello, they do not. Like, I up to this point, it took me a very long time until family can come around with my decisions on my career too, and that is okay. So setting the boundaries, understanding that you can love, and like mentally processing that. And a great journal prompt for you guys, I'm even gonna add a journal prompt for you. Write a journal prompt on how do I love blah, 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 whoever, and how do I like or dislike whatever they do, and see the difference. So then when you can see when they're talking to you or they're reacting, you can pick up, okay, I love them as a family member, but I don't like that. Doesn't mean you have to say that. You can go and punch your pillow to release anger. That's a great exercise, by the way. Or do some shamanic shaking, or come to our healings or whatever and release it in this space. You know, or you can even release it energetically through meditation, visualizing them and saying everything that you need to say. That's a great way to release and create a family boundary. Allow yourself to, through your spiritual journey, to not quiet your voice and your opinion, and allow yourself to do that through visualization and just really just saying what you need to say. Say it, release it, let it go. You know, scream in a pillow, punch in a pillow, shake your body. Allow yourself to do what it needs to do to release that energy out of your body so you're not continuing that pain. You're doing all this work, you know, you don't want to put that back into the body. You want to allow yourself to cleanse it, because remember, that's your ish, that's my ish. I love you, but I don't like what you're saying, and that's okay. You know, I think that's huge to understanding, and I mean this with love. Last thing that I mentioned that's gonna really help you guys understand the difference between the emotions that are triggered if they do come on you. And again, if they do that, like, don't go to that self-sabotage of, man, I did all this work, now it's still happening. It's okay. That just means there's a part of that emotion or that pain or that memory that maybe at this point you are ready to heal. And I see this all the time with my mentors. Like, you are ready to heal this. There's a reason why the universe is bringing this up now, because this needs to be healed now. Like, this is the time to do so. So keep that in mind. Tell them, you know, by connecting with their energy and really just allowing them to come in the space of love. And what I mean by that is I know when we're in a heated discussion and you're like, oh, this makes no sense. I don't know why they're talking like this. I don't know why they're reacting like this. Or maybe they're just very absent emotionally, or whatever the thing that your family member does that you don't like. Really understanding and coming from love, you know? So you can say, I don't like when you do this. And doing this while eye gazing is going to be very powerful. I want you to look in the mirror and say, I don't like when you do this. I don't like when you do this. I don't like when you do this. And at the end of it, I want you to use the Ho'oponopono. I love you. Thank you. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Please forgive me. Look up the Ho'oponopono on YouTube. It is amazing. Very, very helpful. And I think it will help a lot of you guys out. But I think this is like the most important part. We're not coming back into that cycle by reacting to it. We are being able to manage our energy and reacting at a time that's best for us. Right? Because if we unleash that anger, if we unleash that pain, it is going to harm them as much as it harms you. And that's why I said we have to look at people and connections and human beings and anything, plants. Like myself, I work with shamanic stuff. I see things as consciousness. And you are seeing that as well, or maybe you're on the journey of seeing it. And I think that's one of the biggest parts. Like at the end of the day, we have to respect that as a being at the end of the day. But that does not mean that you have to suppress all of the hateful things that you need to say. Find space to manage that, to share that and release that through journaling, through visualizing and releasing, through shamanic shaking, through screaming, through punching. Amazing ways to work with the fire energy here. So I really hope you guys enjoy this video on how to create boundaries around your family while you're going through a spiritual journey, a spiritual awakening, or just doing the shadow work. I know it's difficult, but remember, your soul chose to change the tide. That is powerful. You're shifting it for all your kids in the future, all the generations in front of you, and also all the generations before. And that to me is power. So give yourself that credit. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, as well as put notification bells. I do 3 or more videos every single week for you beautiful, amazing souls. And if you guys are interested, I'm actually going to link down below my email list, because a lot of you guys have been asking questions saying, Shika, like I want to know when you do your free stuff or like your healings or whatever. I do help and support people in the community as much as I can. So if you are interested in that, I will leave that link down below. I will see you guys in the next video. And remember, you are a powerful being. Thank you for all that you do. See you later.